right, I wanted to help you make your rough draft project go onto your final paper and making sure it's centered. You can see the slide in the slideshow shows you the final paper, and figuring out the measurements I coded as orange arrows. So measure how tall your final paper is, how wide your final paper is, and then your design I coded with green arrows. Measure how tall your final design is and how wide it is. And then there's some math that goes along with that to get it centered on your final paper. Let me walk you through that. I have a rough draft here. Make sure your rough draft already has your measured border with a pattern in it. You want to include that in your measurements. And I have a 9 by 12 final piece of paper. So first I need to find out how tall is my final idea, my final design, my rough draft. And I would measure that from the tallest point to the lowest point, the biggest part of the height of my design. I'm going to use centimeters. So it looks like it's about 21.5. So I'm just going to go ahead and write these numbers on here. 21.5 is my rough draft. My final paper, the height of my final paper is about 30.5 for my final paper. All right, now I also need to look at how wide it is. So the widest point, and it looks like this part sticks out the most. So I'm going to measure it right here for my design. Your design might be different. And this is 16.4. And how wide is my final paper? Let's see, it usually is 23 centimeters. Yes, it is, 23 centimeters. So this is my final paper, how wide it is, and my final design, my rough draft, how wide that is. So if I want to know how much white paper is left over, I need to subtract. Oops. And if you want to use a calculator for that, you can. Makes it really easy. You could probably do these numbers in your head though, but sometimes if math is going to be an issue, then go ahead and use a calculator. So subtracting those, that's easy. That's 9 centimeters. But that's how much all white paper I have left over. I want it split, some on the bottom on my final and some on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and divide that into 2 to split it in half. And you don't need a calculator, I know. 4.5 centimeters is my magic number. That's my important number that I need to know for up and down. Now for side to side, you can do some subtracting. 23 minus 16.4, and these are the numbers for my design. Your design is going to be a different size. Your final paper might be the same size though. And of course, split into 2. That's an easy one, 3.3 centimeters. So now I'm ready to measure that on my final paper. So if I need 4.5 centimeters, then I'm going to measure that from the top down, 4.5 centimeters, and I'm going to put a dot. I'll make it a little darker so you can see it. Make it a line, and then 4.5 from the bottom up. And then from side to side, I have 3.3. So 3.3. And 3.3 over on this side. Now, if I had this on a light table, or you can hold it up to your window, I should be able to hold that up to a bright light and my final design should fit in that. And I can hold it up to a window here and it looks like it fits in there. So once I have it in its proper place, you can tape it. I had other things on the back there. Tape it on the back and then hold it up to a window and trace it onto your final paper. All right, good luck and have fun creating your personal design.